Hi everyone, welcome to Podcast Your Journey. Today's guest is Nidhi Mehta. The work she does speaks volumes. Majorly known in Seattle for the philanthropic work, founder of Anurakti.
To share what I have seen through life and what helped me grow, give opportunities to kids back in India. A motto that I live by is touching lives with love. Podcast of yours. You start something, it takes courage. So nothing is small. For you, it is your baby. Right? So it will grow. Not everybody gets the same kind of encouragement from home, from the people around them. I have been a long volunteer of CRY here, Children Rights for You. Give opportunities to kids back in India.
When I started working with Seattle Desi TV, I got an opportunity to go attend one of the events conducted by Nidhi, and that's where I met Nidhi. And a known face, and the work she does also speaks volumes. People who are seeing her for the first time. She has been working in tech for 2 decades, but she's majorly known in Seattle for the philanthropic work that she does. And she's also a community founder of Anurakti. It's a non-profit organization. Welcome to Podcast Your Journey. How are you doing?
I am doing great. Thank you for having me, Shruti, and thank you for Podcast Your Journey for giving me this opportunity to share my journey, to share what I have seen through life and what helped me grow, and happy to answer any questions and talk about myself.
It's something very new I started, and it means a lot that you had the trust in me and you showed up for this. So I really appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you. Coming back to you, you mentioned, right, it doesn't matter for me if anything is new or where it is in the journey, in the frame of what your vision is for this podcast of yours. I always believe that nevertheless, I'm always there for people, supporting them. It doesn't matter to me how big your platform is. I'm pretty sure it will become very big. For me, it is more about supporting and uplifting my fellow people, especially women. I have always been very, leaning towards uplifting, empowering women and kids, especially children. Causes are very close to my heart. So I always say, if you start something, it takes courage. So nothing is small. It's gonna be big because for you, it is your baby, right? So it will grow.
Yeah, thank you again for your wishes and blessings. A lot of questions are in my head, starting with what's the reason behind your passion behind supporting women through philanthropic work? Like, what you're doing?
I have always felt that, supporting individuals around us, not everybody gets the same kind of opportunities. Not everybody gets the same kind of encouragement from home, from the people around them. So, we never know who is going through what when we meet them, right? Not everybody is very upfront with what they are dealing with, right? So I always, first of all, feel that we should always meet the other person with kindness in our hearts. And then it automatically comes to how I can help them, support them in their journeys or whatever they are working through in their life. And I just said women and children is because my causes, fortunately, or, just ironically, whatever the causes that I have supported have always been centered around women and kids.
Okay.
So I have been a long volunteer of CRY here, Children Rights for You, from a very, very long time. I think that was my first nonprofit that I started volunteering my time with. So that's why it's very important for me when we talk about how we can help. That's how it started. And of course, that cause is very close to my heart, and hence every kid around me. I'm also a mother, so that comes automatically also.
Yeah.
The other thing is, again, I have started my own nonprofit. I have been doing the Dance in Pink movement, which is all about wellness advocacy and, advocating about how to take care of your health, getting more visibility and knowledge around breast cancer and how it can be avoided. What are your ways of detecting it earlier, because as of now, early detection is the only cure. We all know that there's no cure for, it's
Prevention.
the earlier you find it, the then it gets easier to handle it. But there's no cure for later stages of cancer, right? So I started raising awareness about it almost 13 years back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how come, I've been around women and just
came from there.
just
Love, lot of
it's not that I don't love and want to support men around me, but it's just that the causes I have been with associated in Seattle or in globally also are all focused around women and children. So that's why I say it. But nonetheless, I want to be be a little tiny influence in anything that I can do betterment for the lives of people around me. My motto that I live by is touching lives with love.
Yeah.
And that's how it is.
I can see that in your personality too. You have a very loving, warm energy. That's what I observed when I first met her and every other time that I've met her. And yes, like Dance in Pink is another event that I volunteered as well. And we had an interview. Actually, thanks to Seattle Desi TV for, making me explore a lot of these things. Like bumping into Nidhi was one of the inspiring moments for me also. Like a lot of people have been the reason for me to start this podcast. One of the reasons for the inspiration.
I remember it completely. The first event that you came to cover for me was the Sari Speak Seattle, the inaugural event in Seattle. And I met Shruti there for the first time, and she came through Seattle Desi TV, and we connected. I've always liked the energy of people bringing positivity in any scenario, right? When you come with an open mind, when you come with a warm heart, when you come to absorb and to give, I think good energy catches hold of good energy. That's all I believe in.
Yeah. Anurakti, when was it started? What's the purpose behind it?
Okay, a very deep topic. Anurakti started almost 4 years back. Mm-hmm. So I've always been working around raising awareness around breast cancer, right? Mm-hmm. And people know me in Seattle, somebody who's been putting this effort for last 13 years. Even though my event is annually, Dance in Pink, during COVID, actually, I started doing it monthly from home. Like at that time, somebody reached out to me about a woman in India who was a cancer survivor, but she went back into remission. Mm-hmm. She was in Pune, very wonderful soul, Natasha, but I only got to know her for a few months. Her cancer came back like doubly strong on her, affecting her in multiple organs of her body. And a friend of mine here was raising funds for her. And she knew that I am somebody who, supports this kind of cause. And I can help with fundraising and getting her the right money to get her treatment back in India. Of course, they shared with me her reports and everything. But truly speaking, I never looked at those. For me, it was just knowing her story. She was a single woman who had lost her child early, who has gone through a divorce. So just hearing about her life journey itself, I somehow felt connected to her. Natasha Fernandez was the reason Anurakti was born. I was the one trying to spread the word about her health to get more money. We started something on GoFundMe. So I was like chatting with her, telling Natasha, give me a little bit more about your story so that I can make a convincing post outside on Facebook. When she went back to the hospital, she had to go back to the hospital because the medicines were not working. She was going through a tough time. August till December, when she died.
She passed
away. And people were convincing her that you have to tell your story, then that's how people donate. Unless there's a connection. Like, आजकल वो है ना कि जितना आप दुख दिखा सको उतना वो बिकता है. That's how the world works, right? तो उसको just convince करना कि you share some tidbits about things that you are going through. That it was very hard for her. She didn't want to sell her, story. She like a video that she made from the hospital bed was for me. That I'm I saw what you are doing, but I want to give my first gratitude to you. कहाँ से आई तुम मेरी life में? So that line of hers still stays with me. And just after her passing, I founded Anurakti. So even though she was back in India, my organization is more focused around people here, and the money that I raise through Dance and Pink, I give back to people and families that I know. Anurakti's main motto is to support not just the person who is going through this, but also the people around them. Because we forget about caregivers, right? Whoever is going through cancer, whether it's like even through breast cancer, a woman is going, but the husband, the kids, they all get affected. Their life gets affected. So that is my whole aim when I started Anurakti. In this world, the more you sell the pain, more market, that's how you get attention towards. And I don't think so I'm in that race.
Yeah.
I just do things with my heart.
Yeah. It takes a lot of strength, especially working in philanthropic area. It takes a lot of emotional energy from you.
Yes, it does.
I can see how, being vulnerable is also a strength, I feel. Like, if not, not be a successful leader like this, like being open with your emotions also is important to keep, the reason for that organization rooted.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate you being open, vulnerable on the show. And I really wish the best for Anurakti.
Thank you. Dance and Pink is just an extension of that. That's my only fundraiser that I do for Anurakti, as well as I also donate the funds to Susan G. Komen, because that's the organization I always started with.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I have till now raised more than $50,000 for Susan G. Komen in last 13 years. And I keep a very little amount for Anurakti because I'm only able to support one or two families with the limited number of resources and time that I have. But I still want to keep it alive in future when I'll have more bandwidth. Of course, it will be touching a lot more lives. But for now, yes. The first baby, very, very first baby of my own that I started is Dance and Pink Movement by Nidhi Mehta, it's called. But it was all basically to raise awareness. Honestly, when I came to US, I had never even seen my mother ever going for annual checkups or mammograms. I had never heard anybody even talk about breast cancer. So when I came here, I used to go to Zumba at a place, and I had made some friends there. And she actually asked me for a donation to a walk she was doing. So I got a little bit curious about it, and that's how I got to know about Susan G. Komen, which is a global organization that is investing money in research to find a cure, as well as they also support underprivileged women who cannot afford mammograms or medical aid when they are going through cancer. So the more I read about it, and the walk was interesting too. It was 60 miles in 3 days, and they do it all over the US. Just hearing 60, oh, you have to walk 60 miles. It's like a couple of, marathons that you are running. But it's like, oh, wow, this seems like a challenge. But the other challenge that one is the physical commitment to do the walk. The other thing was every walker had to raise $2,300 to participate. So it was not like an easy walk that you just sign up and you go. You invest efforts. You invest your time to figure out how you will fundraise that amount of money, because ultimately that money is going to find a cure. While you are walking, of course, you are getting everybody to see the walkers and, gather the attention, amplify the message about awareness. But the fundraising was also makes it a bit challenging, double-fold challenge here, right? Physical as well as putting all your efforts and energy into how do you figure out ways to fundraise? $2,300 is not a small amount. So, and that's the reason she had asked me for a donation, right? So the more I got to know about it, I helped, of course, I donated the first time and I helped her with spreading the word. But then I thought, I want to challenge myself to do something like this, because maybe if I do such walk, people back in India, my friends, my aunts, they will see it. I will post about it, and they will be curious, and maybe they will pay more attention towards their health. For me, it was more about people back in India, because it would be something very bold that they will see me doing, and they will understand why I'm putting such effort behind a walk.
Right.
So that was the whole intention. And Dance in Pink was born because, of course, I have to raise the money. What should I do? I wanted to not just go ahead and keep on asking people for donations, tap onto my friends and family, donate by myself. I actually wanted it to be more about spreading the word, amplifying the message, also telling them that even though I am not personally affected by it, but I understand what you are going through, right? So that's how Dance in Pink came into picture. I have done the 60-mile 3-day walk 10 times.
Wow.
I have done, actually, in 1 year, I have done 2 walks, one in San Diego, one in Seattle. Unfortunately, the walk doesn't happen in Seattle anymore. It actually kind of stopped during COVID. And then Seattle wasn't seeing so much signups, so they had to close the walk. It still happens in other places across the US, but and San Diego is still one of the cities where they still host the 60-mile 3-day walk. But I have done total 10 walks in last 13 years. I haven't been walking for last 2-3 years because Seattle didn't happen.
Maybe because of the weather?
I think it's also taxing. First of all, Seattle weather. I don't remember a single walk where I have not walked in rain, completely soaked, shoes soaked, everything. And I have walked. I had come up back home with blisters because this walk, you also stay in tents outside. You don't come back home. Yeah. You start on Friday morning and you come back home on Sunday night after the closing ceremony. Weather, definitely. They definitely did really good arrangements with the tents and how we used to have food together in a big tent. We had small pink tents to sleep in Marymoor Park. But I think it's also people have other options to donate, right? Not putting in that much effort. I think it's also how you kind of market like this. If you start spending a lot of money on admin work, for any organization, right, to gather and attract people, they have to market, right? So it's that money is going in admin work rather than to the cause. So I do feel it's a balance, and you have to sometimes make tough decisions. Earlier, the walk used to happen in maybe 15, 16 cities across US. Now it's only happens in, I think, 8 or 9. And Seattle was one of the cities that they closed the walk. They still have the local Seattle chapter, the Puget Sound Susan G. Komen walk. That is a 5K walk that happens every year. So they still raise money. It's just a 60-mile 3-day walk because there's a lot of money needed to set up something like that big, right? So yeah, that might be the reason. Right. Few years back, there were only limited organizations focusing and investing in these things. Now there are a lot of organizations. Ultimately, the donation pool that each one of us has, like one thing that I've learned growing up from my father always said, whatever you earn, you spend half of it in, your budget should be like that you only spend half of it in running your household. Half of the money should be going into savings for future. 1/4 of that money should be given to somebody for helping them, assisting them, giving back to just having this life that God has given you. You need to give it back. And then out of that leftover 1/4 should go into, temples or charity, orphan houses and stuff like that. So that's how I have seen my dad doing it. And again, our donation pool still, everybody's capability of donation or giving out that money or supporting people with that money is limited, right? But when there are so many different organizations coming, there are so many different causes. And again, nothing against that, but people have options now to choose. So somehow I felt that Susan G. Komen, the numbers, the first time I did the walk, we were thousands walking together.
So very candid question, Nidhi, don't take me wrong for this, but there's like a lot of stigma around donations, right? Like me personally, if there's like a donation anywhere randomly, if I go to restaurants, they ask, do you want to donate something? I'll be like, I don't really know if my money is going to the right place, and I'm like already giving a lot of tips, and why do I spend extra few dollars on this and I just skip it? I know it is a lot of people still do, like when they choose to donate, but I'm just like trying to understand where can we trust and donate and why is there a stigma around donation, and basically to understand, right, how this whole donation thing works.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think everybody wants to make sure, right, when they are donating, it's a hard-earned money, right? And people are donating with a good heart that it's going into the right place. So for me, I think uh, personally, when I started looking into organizations where I want to even volunteer my time and help them, support them with whatever little or amount that I want to donate, I just look at what is the, first of all, purpose behind that organization. What are they doing? Each of the nonprofits, you can see their all records of their money, how much they have fundraised, how much they have invested back into the community, what is the amount of money they are using for admin work, do they have paid employees and stuff like that. If you look at Microsoft, Expedia, Google, they use Benevity, which has a list of organizations that are already being vetted internally, because these big companies also onboard organizations that have like a record of all these transactions and what they have been doing. So if you go to Benevity and if you search for an organization, you can see
it's all out in the open.
Yes, everything is out in the open. Sometimes, and again, this is also a personal choice, sometimes randomly, if somebody asks me, I still donate because it's my karma, like what I am doing. Sometimes I worry about where it will go, but sometimes it is more about in that moment, that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to give back. And if I'm giving it back, that's my karma. How they are using it is their karma. We all want to make sure it's going in the right place, but we can all make all calculated decisions in our life. But for me, it is more about what am I called to do in that moment? How I felt like did I felt like doing it? And if there is a question, then I'm already on the, I'm already not sold on to the idea of donating, right? If I'm questioning it too much. Not everybody thinks the same way as I do, right? And there's nothing wrong or right here. But I will always say, do your research. And the biggest thing is, what is the purpose, right? If that, kind of resonates with you, go for it.
Yeah. But first of all, there are like category of people who donate no matter what, like it's just a few cents, few dollars, doesn't matter. My life is big. I have they are coming from a place of abundance. There's no like concept of lack in their life. Even if they earn less sometimes, and they might believe in donating, like giving, so that anyway I'll get it back, or like not in the terms of expectation, but I mean they operate from a place of abundance, so they don't calculate. Maybe that's a category of people. Another category of people, like why would I do the research? Why should I donate? I had earned this, and
as I said, there's nothing right or wrong. Everybody rolls in a different way. For me also, sometimes I do go ahead and read about that organization. Sometimes I trust the people running that organization. Sometimes it's more about how I'm feeling that day, what I felt when somebody asked me that question. We donate to strangers too, right? So it's all about, and again, I always feel nothing is I for me in my life. It's not me who is doing this. It's the divine above that is taking me. I don't make any decisions in my life. I don't I am not the doer. The doer is somebody else for me. So, but again, that's how I live my life.
From a place of spiritually speaking, I like when you say he's the doer, and how is it related to the actions we take then?
Okay. So we can always say, I did it because he wanted me to do it. Of course, if you go to any of the places where you feel the right energy, you feel a different kind of vibrations inside you, you feel positivity. There's definitely a supreme power, a divine power. But then there's also a concept of karma, right? You make a right or wrong decision. So sometimes, right, if there are times when we are in front of a camera, we are always smiling. When we are with people, we are always on our good behavior, best behavior. But when we are alone, who is still watching us?
Integrity,
right? There's like, if you believe in God, like I have a very strong faith. Not everybody again will resonate with how I take my life, but I have a very strong faith. So if I am doing something that I will not do in front of people because it's not the right thing, then I'm also not doing the right thing, right? And because he is still watching me. My right and wrong, all my karmas are there in front of one divine power. So that's how I take it. Again, sometimes there are things that will come in your life that you will not have any control over, and that's when we say, right, these are the points in my life that has already been planned by God. I think it's all about what makes you not have that distrust, or not, I shouldn't, distrust, is that a word even? No, mistrust on the faith that you have. If something kinds of challenges that I actually kind of ignore it because for me my faith is bigger than the logic at times.
Just let's say donation, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you say the doer takes care of his jobs, he does things for me. That's probably a different thing than what we act right now.
Yeah, you can, of course, the murderer will say, or somebody who's stealing, or somebody who's hurting other people can say, the doer is making me do it.
Yeah.
But that's the explanation you have taken for your own convenience.
Right.
Right? When I say doer, for me, it's everything that is happening in my life, right?
So it's the larger things.
The larger things.
The small actions that we take, it's our
It's a
responsibility.
choice that you make, right? And who teaches you those right and wrong?
Yeah.
किसी भी भगवान में, whichever God you believe in, whichever religion you believe in, whichever, even, some people are Buddhist, some people are Jain, like whatever the teachings there are, right? If you believe in something, nobody tells you to go hurt other people, right? Nobody tells you to go steal. Nobody tells you to be unkind and harm people around you. All right? Those are the choices you make.
Yeah.
Right?
Great responsibility.
You cannot cover that up for your own convenience, saying he's making me do that. No,
Right.
No. That's not how it happens. But but I still believe that, you find yourself out of a job one day. You find yourself in a completely different circumstances. Those bigger things in life, I do feel, are just part of your life journey that is already planned.
Right. So that's so what you give is what you get anyway. Makes sense. Like maybe God is giving you that bit of free will there to see how you're taking responsibility. And I think one of the books say, like, usually there is a saying, with great responsibility comes great power, or maybe
With
the other way
great
around.
power comes great responsibility.
In the subtle art of not giving a fuck. So in that book, they say, you actually take the power, you do the good thing, and automatically the responsibility follows.
Yeah.
And the other way around is also, does make sense. The old proverb that says, so you have that integrity, you take the right action, like based on what your conscience says.
Yeah.
Amazing. I forgot the things I wanted to ask.
That's when you said, right? I did ask if there are questions, and you said it will be a free flowing thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I am I sometimes feel I'm short on words because there's so much that I want to talk about that I can continue to talk. And then it may go in which direction, I don't know that. And I'm also a very emotional person. So it has happened a lot of time that I cannot control my...
No, I am too. That's why I think we both
like my eyes will get teary if I'm talking about something very deep. So I'm like, okay, let's still roll. Let's still go ahead and do it, and we'll see where it goes. So thank you. I like this kind of setup.
Yeah.
I don't have to prepare anything.
Yes.
You get me raw. Completely raw.
That's the goal of podcast journey. Just
and I have heard this multiple times. If you know the way my handle is, uniquely flawed.
Yep.
People have asked me multiple times what was behind, what was the thought process behind the name. There's nothing perfect about me. I'm a very imperfect person.
Yeah.
But I am unique. Right? But I'm Nidhi. There's nobody like me also. Yeah. God hasn't made anybody like me. That's also I believe in, right? Even with my imperfections, I'm still His child. I'm a child of God with all my imperfections, but I'm still perfect because I'm the unique,
Creation.
individual creation that he has created.
Yeah.
That's why it's uniquely flawed.
Yeah. I think every human is uniquely flawed as well
Yes,
in their own
yes.
imperfections.
Yes.
Love to know your journey. Like, when did you move here and the challenges you faced, and like, what were the turning points in your life?
I actually moved here to Seattle 23 years back. Things have changed. I felt lost, didn't feel like I belong here, questioned my own identity. I wanted to go back in 6 months.
Oh.
My father would not have let me come out of the country. I am very attached to my father. He is quite attached to me. So he would never have if he knew that this is going to be a forever thing, he would not have ever let me go. But I never went back. I've stayed in Seattle. I have invested in bringing people together, bringing a community here, getting things started, bringing more inclusivity, and making my own identity as I moved through jobs and personal life. I'm a Reiki master. And again, I do a lot of Reiki healing and meditation for folks going through tough times. I don't usually ask any money for that. For me, I think I have chosen a path that gives me the peace and joy. I believe a lot in slowing down in life, and being still and being present, and the energies are right. So yeah, being in technology, somebody who is an engineer by education and works on analytics and data in her professional life, and being somebody who talks about energy, which you cannot see, is very different. Is very different, but it's all about the belief.
Yeah.
It's not magic. You have this phone, the power plug.
Mm-hmm.
How do you charge it? You have to use that cord to charge
Transfer
it.
of energy.
Yeah. So it's just that transfer of energy. Sometimes with the way we live our lives, there is an imbalance. There are blockages inside you. There are 7 different chakras, right? The imbalance is there because you have not conserved your energy the way it should be.
Yeah.
I am actually from Prayagraj. It was Allahabad earlier. It's Prayagraj now. So I come from the place where everybody went through for Mahakumbh. I've taken dip in Ganga and Sangam while growing up. And beautiful. So I come from that holy place where Kumbh happens.
That's where spiritual, I
think I get that from both my parents. Every morning, I start my mornings with my breath work. I do breathing exercises, and then I do Hanuman Chalisa, Shiv Chalisa. I do Gayatri Mantra Jap. That is my everyday. And that's why I like my mornings with. My father is a huge Shiva Bhakt. I'm more towards Shakti. I'm an ardent devotee of Ma Durga, but the Shiv influence in my life comes from my father.
Very interesting. So maybe I'm taking too long, but how was your childhood life growing up?
I was a tomboyish.
Okay.
मुझे सब करना
था.
Siblings? Yes, one younger brother.
Okay.
He's 6 years younger than me. बट मुझे सब करना था जो लड़के मतलब इधर कूद क्रिकेट खेल ऊपर से सामान छत से उठा के खुद ही लेकर ले जाना. We used to sleep in the छत के छज्जे पे, like हम गर्मियों में इंडिया में we used to sleep on the rooftop, right? Terrace पे, because lights power outage रहता था. मुझे every folding, like the folding beds that we used to have, चारपाई कहते थे, मुझे वो भी उठा के ऊपर सीढ़ी से ऊपर लेके जानी होती थी. मुझे किसी से नहीं कहना होता था. I was a very self-independent person.
Yeah, from that age.
The first, कह लो, from दादके and नानके, the first daughter, so बहुत ज़्यादा pampered और प्यार किया गया मुझे. First engineer in my entire, like both maternal and paternal sides. There was also a pushback on my father to not send me outside. Everybody just kept saying कि अच्छी rank ले आ and stay in Allahabad, because there was Motilal Nehru Regional Engineering College. Stay in Allahabad only, do your engineering from here. But the rank that I got and the field that I wanted to take, I'm an electronics engineer. I had to go outside. It was my father who supported it, my mother who supported, but there was a lot of like pushback from the relatives कि नहीं लड़की को बाहर नहीं भेजना है.
Yeah.
उस समय लड़कियां बाहर जाती भी नहीं थी. When I went to college, I was one girl in my batch. I was the one girl in 33 boys. In that entire year of batch of 4 girls in total entire batch of that engineering year.
Which year was it? If you
It
don't mind
was
sharing?
1996, 1997.
Got it. I can't imagine the pushbacks that you would have gotten.
And
in
लड़कियां
1996.
आती ही नहीं थी. लड़कियां बहुत कम देखने को मिलती थी. Being an engineer, लोग
Yeah.
मतलब घर पे BCom, BA. मैंने भी I had joined BTech, not BTech. I had joined a BSc at that time when I was preparing for the BTech, competitive exams to get into engineering. But those were the times. My father did 3 jobs to send us to convent school. I come from a lower class, like, you can say poor family, middle class, like lower middle class family. And my father was a government employee, and he did 2 additional jobs because he wanted to send his kids to a convent school and not a public school.
Yeah.
Our parents never made decisions silently in the background, and they discussed things with us even when we were kids.
Wow.
So we always were like a family of 4,
Yeah.
thinking through, going through our own struggles. एक कमरे के घर में रही हूँ मैं. We only had one room to live in, which was a bedroom at night, which was a living room in the day, right? And many of us who come from that background know that.
Right.
So we were always together.
Right.
Our decisions were made together.
Maybe because
We
you were
heard things, we heard the challenges, the financial challenges, the other challenges, relatives ke challenges. We all heard it together because we were in close proximity all the time. So I think that gave me a voice, that gave me a personality, that you can put your perspective, you can put your views out without being offending to others. And I think that's what makes me who I am.
Did you also have to take responsibilities earlier because you had younger
No.
siblings?
No, and that's the beauty, that I do not remember a single time where my mother would have said, you need to take care of your younger brother, because she has always stayed home. She didn't have any social circle. Her whole aim in life was to feed us, to educate us. We never went to tuitions because our mom taught us at home.
But what's like your favorite memory during that time? Childhood memory?
There are many memories. The way my father taught me how to ride a bicycle. उनकी bicycle चलानी शुरू की मैंने. उनकी उस पे सीखा.
Oh, really?
And he used to run around me. I have done a lot of chalias. Chalia is something that you do for 40 days. I do it a lot with my mother. हम barefoot जाते थे सुबह अमृत वेले में 4 बजे उठ के गुरुद्वारा साहिब अपने घर के पास. I have like unlimited memories of me and my mother walking in the morning.
Yeah.
I still love walking.
Yeah.
Last year when she came, we did the chalia here in Bathur every day. Run, rain, snow or shine.
Yeah.
Snow होती थी, हम फिर भी walk करते हुए हाथ पकड़ के. तो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है अपनी मम्मी का हाथ पकड़ के walk करना, because I have like really beautiful memories. I loved walking, talking to her when we used to do chalias in India. I don't know सब कुछ.
So chalia is like
it's like a 40-day thing that
ritual.
Okay. That you do. आप और भी, it's not just in Hinduism, but आप कहीं और भी पढ़ेंगे ना तो 40 दिन को लोग बहुत 40 days को people give a lot of importance. If you are trying to leave some habit, or if you're trying to ask for some मन्नत मांगी या आपने कोई wish मांगी, people do it like just भगवान.
I've seen your stories.
Yeah,
pictures of Gurudwara.
yes. So I do
Instagram stories.
Yeah, I do a lot of chalias. जब मेरा मन मतलब मुझे कुछ भी ऐसा लगता है कि there are things that are bringing me down, I just tell myself this is my goal for the next 40 days. So I completely turn like pura sattvic khana and all that, and
that's needed for your body also.
Yes.
I wanted to talk about all the physical.
We'll definitely do
maintenance.
But no, I think
the fasting does wonders to your body, right? Like fasting and eating soft food.
And I do feel that all this, again, intermittent fasting and all this is concepts here, but they have been going in India for a very long time. आप देखो ना लोग पहले sunrise और sunset के बीच में ही खाना खाते थे. What is that? That's intermittent fasting,
yeah.
right? And now we are saying 12 hours, 18 hours, 16 hours, we're counting. So जिस चीज को आप जैसे पैकेज करते हो, जैसे आप उसको मार्केट करते हो, वो वैसे पॉपुलर हो जाती है. But
This is so beautiful. I don't want to end this, obviously. We'll talk more. But thank you so much, Nidhi.
no, I think I had a really good time. As I said, the flow, it just happened.
Yeah.
We kept on talking about things. All I can say is, you know, my journey, I don't know if it's inspiring or whatever, you know, people do say that batao, जैसे you invited, or you know, we were talking about things. The only thing I say is there's lot of things in each of our lives. You know, हर story बाहर नहीं आती है. But I do feel each one of us has something that the other person can find inspiring. You know, अगर मैं आपसे बात करूं, I will find something inspiring about your life journey. Don't ever try to fit in, because you were never made to fit in. You were made unique. Like, you know, God hasn't made anybody like you, so there's no need to fit in. That's all.
Find your spark.
You will, you know.
That's a great note to end it. The point that she said about, you know, show up and share your story is kind of the mission, or like the statement that I want to follow for Whatcast Your Journey. So thank you for that marketing there. I mean, she spoke from the heart, but it really helped resonate the purpose of Whatcast Your Journey. You were completely
even when I'm on the stage doing MCing or, you know, running my events, I have never prepared a speech. Ever.
Me neither.
The energy I feel around me, and I'm a sucker for that.
Yeah.
I'm a hugger too. So next time you know me and I come to hug you, it's just because I'm a hugger. Connection is only made when you are raw and authentic, and, you know, just be
yourself.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I survive as well with these episodes. So that's the connection I feel. But thank you so much.
Thank you.
Nidhi. Wonderful
Thank you, Shruti.
speaking with you.
And thank you, Whatcast Your Journey, for having me.